Hello and welcome. This is Nolan with Discover NC Homes and Nolan's News, and I have Jason Rogers, Coastal View Construction, with me. And Jason, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Nolan.
Appreciate it, definitely. So Jason and I have been working together, guys, for like maybe 5-7 years now. He is a general maintenance business, handyman, remodeling. He's amazing. He can do it all. But I have him here because we've done a number of series on kind of preventative maintenance for your home. And this is geared both towards sellers and buyers. So again, I look between probably 50 to 100 home inspections a year. And one item that Jason and I have discussed that comes up on almost every home inspection is exterior rot and trim. Whether it's around windows, door frames, siding, whatever it is, it comes up time and time again. So Jason's here to kind of discuss what causes it, how you can prevent it from being caused, and just going forward, it's not a big deal, but when you have a lot of it, it adds up to a big problem. So if you can, Jason, kind of maybe first talk about the preventative or just the problem in general.
Well, what I would say to that mostly is the fact that people buy homes, whether they're brand new or they're existing homes that they purchase, most of the folks, it seems like, to me at least, that they tend not to venture outside. Maybe it's because of age or what have you.
Well, I like how you kind of put it. They drive home and they just walk through the front door of the garage and they don't really
they
look
never
at the rest of their home.
Yeah, they think in a case where they've bought a brand new home, they think it's brand new for 20 years. Unbeknownst to them, things are deteriorating on the outside, whether it's materials that were used on the build, quality of the workmanship, or just, basically environment and stuff like that can play a factor in it too.
Yeah, so go over kind of how we discussed with exterior maintenance and painting and how to keep up with your exterior trim.
Right, like Nolan mentioned, he sees 52, on average 52 home inspections, and a lot of that I get privy to those home inspections too. It seems like it's the same type of issues that, to me, and Nolan and I have both discussed, that are simple if you catch them early enough, if you be proactive on your maintenance on your home, which is as simple as just cleaning your home, washing it every so often, caulking, anything that breaks apart, opens up, which is an infiltration for water. Yep. Typically that's on windows and stuff like that. So when they do their cuts, a lot of times they'll open up, and if you don't get any caulking in there after they've opened, it tends to let the water in, it swells, and then it can even actually get worse beyond the visual into the sheathing and even in further and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we talked about too, painting. How many homes and trim do we see that go years beyond when they should be painted and sealed properly?
Well, a lot of the homes in this area, there's different price points. But most of the ones that are being painted on the exterior are custom homes.
Yep.
So those custom homes, a lot of the contractors, I would say, they're not looking at the quality that is being purchased for the paints. So, the painter is to try and maximize his net in his pocket. They're using less than products. So, traditionally, you're to 5 to 10 years after the house is painted, you should have it repainted again. Now, those factors, you can get a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the environment. Obviously, the quality of paint is a big thing too, because a lot of it, if it's not put on heavy enough, it's just a little dusting of paint. So that's, if you don't stay on top of that, the paint just does not adhere, it doesn't protect like it should. And then you get into the wood rots and stuff like that.
And it deteriorates again over time. And one last thing that I know that we've seen a lot of are what's called a butt joint, where two pieces of trim come up to each other. Oftentimes we've seen that's not painted, and that's an excellent way for water over time to wick into the trim work.
Because on material that's used in this area, and it doesn't even have to be the hardy materials, it can be anything, it could be just a standard practice, is when you cut and anything that is going to be butt, not visible, but that should be treated with a primer. So if over time you have expansion and contraction where it opens a little bit, you prevented yourself a little bit more of protection with just by putting a little seal coat of primer and or paint on that situation.
I agree. Well, guys, thank you again for having us. If you need, if you're going to sell, or if you're a buyer that wants to have your home inspected by Jason ahead of time, he's definitely available for that. His prices are reasonable. But again, time and time, these trim decaying, rot, etc. comes up, and it can be easily prevented if you are staying on top of it, or even if it's already there. It's one less inspection item on a home inspection to give a buyer a reason to worry about their purchase. So either way, it's good to either, again, notice it ahead of time or get it fixed beforehand, so that's one less item that doesn't come up. Coastal View Construction, Jason Rogers, we will have his contact information on the newsletter, and thank you so much.
Thank you.